Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed right here on the Nasdaq stock market. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining me remotely, we have Chris Dearborn. He's a managing director on Nasdaq's market intelligence desk. And Chris, the index is lower, but outperforming on a relative basis. We have biotechs like BioMarin and Seattle Genetics, Alexion leading the way, as well as Netflix, which has earnings this week. What's your take on the action this afternoon?
Well, the action's been relatively interesting. We're just selling off here coming into the close. Got about an hour left in the trading day. The index was up significantly higher this morning. As a matter of fact, the index was up over 7% last week and up two consecutive weeks with higher highs. We'll see where this week takes us. It's been a down day across the board, but again, it's all about leadership. With the Nasdaq weighting towards the market cap as opposed to some of the other indexes like the Dow, you're seeing the larger cap names kind of carry the weight here. Now, if you look at the first chart on the stock that we brought up today, you see that the stock is making higher highs. And again, go back to the Fibonacci levels. Last week, we confirmed above the 50%, which is essentially a trend in place from that 67.71 low made back in March. And the index is up nearly 30% since the March lows. It's interesting. We're only down about 10% from the February highs, the all-time highs of 97.36. So the index as a whole has been performing very, very, very well. And with last week, we crossed over that 61.8% retracement level, which is moving towards the higher end of the fulfillment towards 76.4%. And interesting, at the bottom of the chart, I threw in the RSI for this, and you have an RSI rating north of 60. Again, very bullish in sentiment amid everything that's going on, showing that you have true leadership along the larger cap market names. And also today, you have leadership among the healthcare names, as you mentioned before, Seattle Genetics, BioMarin, Alexion, ALGN, all trading higher. Netflix, obviously trading higher. We're looking for them to report tomorrow after the close. And then, of course, Amazon has been the giant here, trading near last week's all-time high.
All right, if we take a look at our second slide here, this is the Nasdaq-100 heat map, which lays out the performance a little bit more clearly. And as you were saying, with Amazon taking the top spot.
Right. So what you're looking at here, and it's given back a little bit since this was printed up this morning. Amazon has turned slightly negative earlier, but now it's just starting to back up a little bit. It's only up 1.2%, whereas up significantly higher. But still carrying north of 12 points currently into the index. And again, with Netflix trading near highs, carrying another 7-8 points. And then you look at the biotechs there as well, adding to the percentage point. And recently we just had PayPal move up there as well. Mondelez is doing well as well. So what you have is nearly 40% of the Nasdaq-100 trading in the green today, where a lot of the broader indexes are off significantly. The Dow, the S&P, the Russell's been trading flat or waffling back and forth between flat and negative. So again, the market cap weightings here are carrying this market higher. And the other larger cap names, Apple and Microsoft, while down, are only down about 1 to 1.5%, giving only shedding 30 points towards the Dow, and Google there as well, down about 1.4%. So the other heavyweights are on the other side of the aisle, but not as bad considering where the market is this morning.
All right, and to wrap up here, as we've been talking about a heavy week of earnings, 16 Nasdaq-100 companies set to report this week. That's nearly 20% of the index. What will you be looking for, Chris? Because I feel as if companies have been somewhat vocal through the earnings vacuum with messaging focused on COVID-19. Will you be looking for guidance? Is there anything new that's going to come out? It seems as if the path forward is not any clearer than it might have been in the middle of March.
This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for corporate data here in April to kind of figure out where they are and where they stand. Again, 20% is a significant number of the Nasdaq-100, and the following week we get a lot of the larger names as well. You have Amazon and such reporting the week after. What you're looking for is business guidance, continuity plans. You want to see the impact. A lot of companies have been filing 8Ks recently, as they should, about what the impact to the COVID-19 virus has been to their business line. And with that, you should have a good understanding. There's not going to be guidance because you can't give guidance on numbers that you don't know. You can't look at fundamental analysis here. What What you're looking at is cash flows. Are there any? What's the company doing in this area? How many employees have they furloughed if necessary? And where the support from the government's going to be on the loan section for some of these companies if they need it. So the question is not just for the NDX, but for the broader market as a whole, what is the tempo of the call and what are the senior management, the CEO and the CFO saying about the company and the health of the company? That should guide us through for the next quarter. Again, if this COVID-19 has the antibodies start to work, or if some of the other prospects on containment, testing, and eventually a cure start to come into line, look for a significant rebound. Again, we'll get through this, but the question is, how will we get through this and how long will it take?
All right, Chris, thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you, Jill.
All right, and thanks for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.